to episode 1149 of the Multifamily Collective. Today is Saturday. I'm bulk recording because I'm going to be at the NMHC conference next week in Orlando. So I may or may not have time to record daily the Multifamily Collective. So that being said, this is the Attire, little lucky hats, and my Thrive t-shirt from Radco Residential, or the Radco companies, where I am one of the day-to-day team members there. So book recommendation. This is Poor Charlie's Almanac, Charlie T. Munger. It is the wit and the wisdom of Charlie T. Munger. And one of the things I read this book at least once a year, maybe twice a year. I pull this off the shelves. Generally, it's in the early innings of the year. And I reread certain sections of it that have really resonated with me. Charlie T. Munger is the business partner of Warren Buffett. They have been lifelong business partners. And if you've been around for the last 5 minutes or so, you probably know who Warren Buffett is. He's one of the richest men in the world. But what I'm not necessarily impressed by the wealth of Warren Buffett or Charlie T. Munger or anybody that's wealthy for that matter in terms of dollars and cents. But what I am impressed by with people who've made a lot of money is the disciplines behind the success that is measured by dollars and cents, right? It is the character that they have built for themselves, especially people who are of good character, who have wealth also. Certainly there are people in the world who potentially are not of good character, who have wealth in the way of dollars and cents. So I'm more in the camp of those people who are of good character and have achieved great financial wealth in their lives. The thing that resonates with me most in Charlie's book, not most, but it's one of the things that resonates with me, or it has resonated with me this year, is his mental constructs, or mental matrix, or mental models that he goes through when he is evaluating an investment for the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio. And he certainly exercises this mental model in other areas of his life. But it's interesting. I'm going to read a little piece here. It probably doesn't have a lot of context, but except for what I just provided to you. But it says, especially important examples of these models include redundancy backup system model from engineering, the compound interest model from mathematics, the breakpoint tipping moment autocatalysis models from physics and chemistry, the model Darwinian synthesis model from biology, and the cognitive misjudgment models from psychology. What is so interesting to me about that is that he has taken a multidisciplinary approach to investment making decisions. And so he runs through each one of these models. The book says he has about 100 mental models that he keeps front and center in his mind that he runs a particular investment through. So there's the interdisciplinary sort of crossover in the way that he looks at an investment. So he can sort of, if you think for a moment, at least this is the way my mind works. So we have an investment here in front of us. Charlie looks out beyond the investment into this sort of universe of mental models. And let's just say he goes from one to the next to the next. And I don't know that they're linear in nature. Maybe they're sort of a constellation model. But he looks out past the investment and then he runs everything through each model. And not all 100 apply to each one of the investments that he makes, but he's able to run through in his mind the models that make the most sense to run this particular investment through, this particular business through. And he does that. The way that it is captured in the book is he does that with breakneck speed. He's able to just look out, see where things come together, where there is multidisciplinary things that actually make the business better for the world and therefore for Berkshire Hathaway as an investment. But he can do that much like you would punch numbers into a calculator. He can see that, do that, connect the dots, and make an investment decision quicker than any other person on the planet, or at least that is a quote from Warren Buffett himself. So interesting stuff. Shane Parrish, I'll link this up in the show notes. Shane Parrish wrote a book. He's actually, I think, on his third version or third volume of this. He's trying to capture the best mental models that one can run decision making through. I own the first two, and I think the third is on its way, but I would highly recommend Sheen's book. I would highly recommend Poor Charlie's Almanac. Now, let me tell you, this book it's not hard to find, but it's hard to find a reasonably priced volume. This bad boy was $60 plus minus. That's a lot of money for me when it comes to buying books. I try to find the best price when I'm buying books, just because I love books so much. I don't necessarily buy them when they're bestsellers or they're new to the market. Particular authors I do, but anyway, I highly recommend Poor Charlie's Almanac. Definitely pick up a copy. Definitely try to find a bargain bookstore and pick up your copy there. Amazon, I can't find one on Amazon for less than $60 or $65. I will tell you that I think it's worth every cent. It's just not what I like to pay for books. So anyway, take care. We'll talk to you again soon.